starting your journey to financial freedom. Now. You're listening to the New Investor Podcast.
Okay, so my portfolio is still intact. I have not made any drastic move, and I am currently evaluating how effective this portfolio is against probably the worst crisis we have ever faced. So far, I am down by almost 20%, but still ahead all time by almost 10%. My lowest point ever was recorded on the 23rd of March, and I have evidently walked my talk and just braced for impact without jumping ship. So I made a move to increase my position in Bank of America in March. Since then, my portfolio recuperated on losses by 47%. The worst month were February and March, evidently, and consistently showing an average of 10% decline overall. However, April so far is in the positive territory at 4.2% ahead, even though the United States are still in major trouble all across the board. Today, the markets reacted negatively as an experimental vaccine trial failed. Yet another proof that no TV channel, no analyst, and no expert will ever be able to predict how the market will fluctuate. And the only verified data I could take in consideration and on which I have based my whole investing strategy upon is the history of the S&P 500 growth, showing very clearly, and please, there are tons of studies on this online, that the US stock market has proven to be remarkably resilient as it has routinely recovered from major crises to move higher over the long period of time. The only variable that will not allow me to take full advantage of today's situation for that bright future awaiting the world economy and the stock market is the availability of cash. And I do my very best to create disposable income on a monthly basis. This particular crisis has damaged my ability to invest in a similar volume than before, and if at all, should this situation stretches for too long. So as I mentioned before, I have been revisiting my finances on a daily basis as to adapt my investing strategy with my new level of income. And I am fortunate enough so far to have my salary substantially reduced rather than losing my job altogether. However, I am no sitting duck, and that may also change at any moment, so I am planning for that as well. That will be for another episodes should this occurs. But for now, my ability to invest has been reduced by 63% overall for this year. 40% of my total income will have to serve the 37% remaining for this year. And this will require strict budget rules, and I intend to make this happen until we're all out of these woods. Now, again, this may drastically change. I don't have all the answers, but one thing I learned throughout my career and as well as an investor is that adaptability is a skill you must master. Changing your actions or courses of doing things to adapt to a new situation will determine how well you will survive any crisis that comes your way. Now, I am able to do that as I am still fortunate enough to have a job, but if you happen to have lost yours temporarily, just ensure those savings serve first and foremost to maintain yourself or your household for the next few months. Only if you can, invest them into the stock market or other instruments to grow wealth. I will keep sharing how I steer through all of this as time passes. We are at the mercy of the market, as you can all see, and we have never been in control. And this only proves how fragile everything can become. This yet proves another one of my favorite quotes in my book and how I live by. We do not invest for instant profits. We invest for our freedom. In the meantime, stay healthy and stay invested.